Hello and welcome to Precious Moments. My name is Busisiwe Nomaswazi Wagwagnene. Thank you to all that have subscribed and have been sharing and liking our pages. Today we speak about healing after the loss of a loved one. And joining us today on Precious Moments is none other than Womandla, personified Inkalagata herself, Mpho Tshabalala, the wife to the late kwaito star Umduduzi Edmund Mandoza Foundation. Mpho, welcome to Precious Moments. Thank you for making time to chat with us.
Thank you for having me. I loved how unamagama amaningi njengoba yami neighbor nginingi mina.
Bewafita ku ID.
No. When namagama amaningi mina ngineighbor nginingi.
Yeah. Yo Mpho, you and I come from far. We've been through thick and thin. Abasaziyo bazothi I know babizene ngoba abangani.
Yeah.
But this show is basically for ama viewers wethu who know Mpho Tshabalala from a distance. Yeah. Today we are spending precious moments with you so that we find out ukuthi who is Mpho Tshabalala? Ukhulele phi Mpho? What made Mpho tick? What does Mpho love? Sizofika sikhuluma ngoMpho sizofika ku being the wife of, but Mpho the girl ukhulele phi kanjani, what did she want to be when she grew up and all those things.
So I think we're going to start speaking Mpho Mputi.
Yeah, let's start there.
Mpho Mputi is a South African and born and raised in Gauteng. Ilaba bathi imsebenzi mathiwa yeah. But the nice part about me is that I'm both a Sowetan and a Guruleni child. So people sometimes get confused. Other people will say, no, yes, she grew up now. No, she's from Soweto.
Yeah.
First half of my life, I was in Soweto. Then the parents moved. So my high school years, I was in Dirudi High School. We stayed in Katlehong, Ekaya. I moved with my parents. It was a foreign world for me. Coming from a Soweto. So for me, it was a foreign, but I adjusted to the place. But funny enough, I didn't adjust enough because I still had to go to a Carlton Center on my Fridays. So I'll start a Carlton Center Fridays. Obviously, over the weekend. Mpho is a firstborn, Ekaya. I've got brothers, I've got siblings. I call myself, I'm an aunt now. I've got so many titles that I love so much. But most importantly, I just have to say to my mom and my dad, thank you for giving me such a name. I didn't understand it growing up, but now as a woman, I understand that I was truly a gift, not only to my parents, but to Sechaba, my family, my siblings, everyone around me. And I've made sure that I follow that name. Yes. I grew up ngithanda abantwana. I would pick up abantwana befamily just to babysit. I've always been that person uthanda abantwana, and just a lover of life, a lover of just beautiful things. I once wanted to be a doctor. I don't know. I think the news on
you are a doctor in a different.
Okay. You
don't wear a white coat, but from the things that you do in society, the things that you do for your friends,
okay.
It's a calling, Mpho, that you have. It's just that just because I'm not Dr. Mpho, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So those things, but life aina manual. It doesn't happen how you plan it. You just fall into the things that happen also in life. That's how you drive it.
Yeah. Then you met Umduduzi.
Yes, and I was still very young when I met Umduduzi. This guy was like me and you.
Didn't
like Tanwili High School, and you Zola, like Aslangani. But you know the nice thing, being umuntu that doesn't judge a book by its cover. That guy had this character. Yeah, okay. And I'm like, maybe we can try something. Let's. At that time, my friends were like, oh my gosh.
A thug.
A thug. Do you see his pants? Oh my gosh, are you sure? I'm like, I'm sure. Yeah. Risky foot me.
Yeah.
Risk. Yeah. So I was like, let me take this risk and see this guy, you know. We met in Carlton Center, me being one of the girls, Zaguba Carlton Center in the 90s.
Yeah.
The scheme Sam. So we met in Carlton Center, Navalapa, Nichiskopu, Vasazama, you know, Bayachereza, Nyana. Like, okay, let's see, you know. And I don't know, donkey years later, we became parents, we became husband and wife, more than anything, my best friend.
Yeah.
I remember when we met, some of my takes, so happened to me now,
Yeah.
I just visit on weekends. Okay. The nice part is that it takes in song. And then I takes it why you here now?
How romantic.
Now we just go back, and then why you kibela? And so it's one of those little things, you know, that you see with you might. Man, we as an chips and tennis, lemon trees, lemon drinks, So his character, man, was just, you would see a guy who comes from a family, a family that's got love. You know, these days we judge people by what they have, but he had so much to give, not financially, but emotionally, utano, and just the care.
Yeah.
That's the guy I fell in love with. Yes.
And also I think back then that was what was most important.
Sure.
If umuntu can take care of you and do those little things, then husband and wife.
And bekane charm. Yes, I always say, Koma umuntu ozokhona ukuhamba naye emolini.
Yeah.
Mangakhona ukuhamba naye emolini. Hayi mina ngeke. So bekahambeka naye emolini wathi uyambheka naye man. Unalento. Yeah. So umuntu okhona ukuhamba naye emolini. Yeah.
You know, I always think, and I think I've said this to you before, but you know, if reality TV shows were a hit back then, I think like when you were the Real Housewives of Kwaito stars, you would be the matriarch. You would be Usorisha Naidu. Because I remember it would be you, Upelga Jen, Ulunga ga Brown Dash, Ulindi ga Prixie, Uniti ga Mapabuzi. But you are always the matriarch, and you won't come to
and Mpho will come and rescue.
Where did you get that strength? Because I mean, at the end of the day, these are all Kwaito stars, and Nonge. You know, Ningama girlfriends, some graduated to marriage and stuff, but you always had this bigger role and more responsibility, and everyone else would always, you were like the mother hen, and everybody would come to you, Mpho, and they must pumama out in Bapeng.
You know, we see being the firstborn Ekaya. And then years later, when I had my younger brother, my mom and my dad divorced. So part of the agreement is that we would be with my dad during the week for school. Then on weekends, we would go mama. So then I had to take over and helping Obaba. So I've always stepped into helping as a firstborn and in family. Also because I just love. I love unity. I love peace. I love gube. So I would step in any way just to bring that peace, that calmness, whether nyogulwela or at times because at times they're like babize yona le phitsinyana
Yeah,
engaka. Yeah, so I think that's where I got the strength from to say, Guti, you know what, for the people that I love, I would do anything. I would go and fight maranyalo. But just to say, and you know, we all had moved out of our homes.
Yeah.
That was my family that I knew. I would see my family after iskati, but us as a couple, that was my family, including our dancers, because our dancers stayed ngaphandle in an outside flat. So I had so many names. I had so many names.
Yeah.
So it just automatically and strength. God chooses his people, and as I say to you, my name automatically, I just followed it that. Whether you like it or not, Mpho, you're the gift.
Yeah.
And it goes along with accepting Mbireni. When there's a time that you stop asking God, why me?
Yeah.
You just say, okay, you've chosen me, but just give me the strength, and I'll just do it. Yeah.
So then you've got Tukulo, Tumelo, Karabo, raising your 3 kids. What were the highs and the lows of the relationship with you and Umduduzi, you know, the challenges? Because every relationship has got its highs, has got its lows, whether it's a relationship, a marriage, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or, you know, mother to children.
The first challenge is our firstborn.
Yeah.
No, it's not our firstborn, it's our secondborn.
Yeah, Tumel.
No. Unkalakatha the song.
Okay.
I call him our secondborn.
Yeah.
That is the first of our big problems.
Yeah.
How
was secondborn a problem? So when you have 4 children.
No, I have 5 kids.
Okay.
Remember, I also have Utapelo.
Okay.
Yes. So I've got 5 kids, including a second bondo, a troublemaker. Of which
is still causing trouble.
It's still causing
today, but in a nice way.
In a nice way now.
We'll get to that problematic child in the end.
So it brought so much beautiful things that he, as Umduduzi, through a second born, he managed to achieve, you know, his dreams. Things that he wanted to do for Umama, the siblings, us, the family. Then it brought more fame.
Yeah.
It's later Uksenda into the marriage where now he's traveling a lot. I used to travel with him, but now I'm like so obviously then now the kids are there. More especially before Karabo, but the boys are there, and I have to be at home more. And I always say, you know, these boys, I'm including Bonkela in the kwaito space, they were just doing what they love.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they had, I don't know what word can I use with their management that was not there fully to say, let's prepare you. So they were never prepared for this fame, for the money, for anything to say. And everything became too much. Everyone wanted a piece of them. You understand?
Yeah.
Then you end up being exhausted. And obviously, if gigs are coming in, we're not going to stop any gigs. We're going to book all the gigs to share with Mali again. So that comes with exhaustion. And now, they fall into the wrong things. They fall into drugs. They fall into women, you know, and it became just a bit too much.
I can imagine.
Too much. Yeah. It took a toll on our relationship, a toll on his parenting things at times, because he would be away so much that he would miss out on a lot of things with the kids. So those were the challenges, and the tabloids also. Then obviously I always say, hey guys, you think adults are mean, kids are mean.
Extremely.
Kids are very mean. So also, and kids are mean because nakhona ezinye bazizwile ngabantu abadala. So when there's tabloids, kids don't have time to verify, hey, your dad, yeah, hey, babakho in. So those things, Karabo didn't experience it too much, but I think the boys, especially Utukulu, experienced a lot of that. So yeah, it was a heavy journey, but we are a household that relies so much on God.
Yeah,
we are just a household that relies so much on God to say, I sing ngati. This is the life that you gave us. Give us strength to handle it. Segasinda manje. Yeah. And also the people around you, the company that you keep.
It's important.
It's very important. Maguhle, like
peace to hand.
Yeah. And when the money is not there, and also you especially the money side, will see that I always say, if I'm the artist and I have a manager, that means you work for me.
Yes.
Money must come into me. I must pay you, not the other way around. So the industry works in a different ways, but I've seen artists learning, doing things differently. That's why a lot of people are going independent, because it doesn't make sense. I have to know what's happening because I'll tell you as a manager, I back booking 50 while back booking 80, things like that. There's been so many challenges. Them just going in the industry, not knowing much about interest and royalty and all. There's just no much knowledge. There was no knowledge in the past. So also those things, and you can't keep track of your money. When you think you still have money until one day you're like, I'm not money. Because look at that.
Yeah. And then they don't even give you a statement of account to say, no. You started at 5 million. Every time.
Norma sees the statement of account. You can't recall. Because look at that. In a day, I'm 5,000, I 5. Because also, they're smart. Most of the time you're drunk, you're high. They'll tell you that, you're kumula siku ipiki or cash. So it's things like that I've seen that were a big mess in my marriage.
I think also what you were saying, I'm an artist back then. I think it was the education in terms of management. We don't have that even now in 2024, where you get management, whether big companies or small companies, who will be on some taking an artist or a soccer player for that matter to a team building exercise and get experts, financial literacy.
Why would they do that? Because
it's not in their best interest, of
they
course.
They tend to gain more also,
So it's not in their best interest. So why ngikuvusa mangabulele? It's sad though.
It's very sad.
It's sad.
It's very sad.
Can we go to the time in your life when you had a stroke?
Okay. I always start by, when I have to touch the topic, I always start, because when people speak, it was 2010, when they speak of 2010, but Philip or Rubani.
Philip, Philip. It is here.
It is here.
Yeah.
Angimazi Philip. Angimazi Philip. Ngizile bathi
bekakhona Philip. Was it last year, 2023, 2022? Angisakhumbula Philip ubuyile futhi.
Okay.
Yeah. Wathora nyana kancane.
Yeah. So it was 2010, just the start of World Cup. And I remember the first day, the opening, just when another Tshabalala scored the first goal.
Yeah.
Everyone is excited. Mpho was performing. Hey, I was not feeling the World Cup, hot flashes and everything. I'm just going to try and speed up, you know, the story.
Yes.
So, but then I'm like, maybe it's nothing. But when I got home, like, I was a party pooper. But
and you're always bubbly.
I'm always bubbly.
You're the party of the party.
But that day I'm like, hey, I'm not drinking anything. I'm full next. Like, can we go home? Mpho, hey, kune after party ngathi angifune ngozi after party, take me home. I did. I zange salala. I even had to go to esibhedlela. So they called an ambulance for me. I was admitted. Before admission, they ran tests. She's about to drip. Then a few minutes later, this doctor says, "Wow, congratulations!" Like, on what? You're gonna be parents again? Like, No, we're not. Yes, you are. I'm like, okay, nice news. Few days esibhedlela, then I was out. I think a month later, then I was not well. I was admitted again in ICU. Then I was out. It was a difficult pregnancy.
Yeah.
Until we found out it's a girl, we advised, hey, not to keep. They be like, hey, our life is run by God. We will keep this baby and we will see. Close to 7 months, I'm in hospital. I get labor pains. I gave birth. Beautiful baby girl, and we named her Karabo. We lost the track about T.
Yeah.
Because we like, no. This is our answer. We don't care now because we're still something about T. Tabela now like we don't care. She's born, but this is Karabo. It was our answer. We've always wanted a baby girl. Sadly, just after I gave birth, when you give birth, the operation, you have epidural and everything, and they say after a few hours, kind of harm and everything. Few hours gone, and I still can't walk.
Sure.
But I could feel myself, when like
going
something
down,
is changing. Something is changing.
Yeah.
No, it's like epidural. Until until I try and force myself to stand up, then I fell. Then when I fell, that's when they just started being alert, and now my speech is going down, I'm like kind of alert, and then they quickly rushed me and did tests, Banklab. I think it was something to try and reverse the stroke.
Yeah,
Banklaba, and then my doctor Mbiza wafika. Then after a few hours, busy. Then after a few hours, they told me that you've just suffered a stroke.
Sure.
So by then, now the speech is gone. In a few hours, like, I can't talk at all. Like, Now, in my head, I know the questions I want to ask to say,
but
how come me, stroke is for older people?
Yeah.
Me, kanjani, I can't be going through a stroke. But I can't ask those questions. Then you start crying.
I can imagine, because of frustration as well.
Yeah. And like, my stroke was very severe because I couldn't move my arms, I couldn't walk. Then I stayed in hospital. My husband was called in. It was difficult news. I can imagine now. We're just happy for a girl, because even with my daughter, she was a premature, but lonkulunkulu esimthembayo.
Yeah.
My daughter stayed in an incubator for 10 days and then she was discharged to go home. But I was left in the hospital, because I had to be treated and everything. I remember the day that I left the hospital, and my doctor said, so in that process, I started all the physio with the speech therapy. So, and then I told them not to bring the kids, So there came a time my doctor said, I'm going to be discharging you. I've never cried so much. When people are in hospital, they always want to know which buy in a car.
Yeah.
I refused. I said, I don't want to go home. Like, what am I going to do? The first thing is that in this thing. Everything was like all about my kids. I'm like, but doctor said, no, the journey has ended, you'll be an outpatient.
Yeah.
You'll come for your physio, you'll come for all your therapies from home. I cried, and Cosmos also, he's the one that could understand me when I was now trying to speak. He could read my lips. But then it is what it is. I went home. Now I love family so much, ne? But sometimes I want my space. So now at times everyone is in my space, and now at times I can't speak. So I remember we always speak about this with the boys. Because of our equal, so they come home. So now I'm trying to get confident in the speaking thing. I'm speech therapy. I'm like, Google. Georgile. So sometimes they call me Georgile. They're like, hi, Georgile. I'm like, hello. Yeah. So I wanted to say Georgile. I'm like, Georgile. Because you have to breathe.
Yes.
You know, but I loved how my family treated me. They would make fun of me, and that's what the doctor said to Mduduzi. Make fun of her. She's gonna want to fight. And,
exactly.
You know, I've seen her. She's a fighter, so she's gonna want to fight to be better. So yeah, and that happened. And my stroke journey.
Skis.
When people ask me all the time in everything, how have you done it? And the people that know me and understand me, it's not people that say, hey, sizokusa kubani bani kumabani bani. It's people that will say, let's pray together. Let's pray for you. And that is what exactly happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember that day.
I do.
Yeah, I'll forever be grateful that umthandazo uNkulunkulu mamela yonke umthandazo, and I still say people I recovered because of the prayers I had around me from friends, family, and even strangers. You know, now I meet strangers, but we prayed for you in the stroke, and I'm like, thank you. I'm healed because of one of the prayers, you know. And I remember along, those days, and yes, in the interim of all of that, and it's one of the things that I've never spoken about. There's a time now, go bed, manch.
Yeah.
Mine Mali, Mpho sick. Hospital bills and everything, and we're like, hey, let's move from a drop-in, let's come back home. We came back home. So when I was bad, Mduduzi stopped gigs. After some time, he said, I'll go back to work. I'm like, fine. So there's a day I'm supposed to go to my physio, the speech therapy. I was done with physio because I was working already. Before I get to the story, how I started walking, people always ask me, I'm like, no. It took me one day. Because when clients were and I just said, God, for the fact that you didn't take me, I still had a purpose. Yes. So help me, help myself. So that I can fulfill my purpose. Can I just stand up and just go back? Very much we will promise God and truly God has kept his promise in my life. He kept his promise. I stood up, the whole family was sitting a lounge, everyone panicked. I was like, because my speech was still not back then, but I stood up and I walked. So going back to that story, we are in Soweto, and I need to go to my speech therapy. My driver is late. Oh, my driver took me. Dropped me off.
Yeah.
Then someone was supposed to pick me up. Me being Mpho Tshabala, when that person was late,
Yeah.
Mpho decided to go on a taxi.
Yes, girl.
Give a taxi. Akunankinga, ahlika ebri, mangihlika ebri, ngiyazi agibelwa apha ephimbe ngagibela. So now the problem is that never ngihlike lapha ku short rides.
Yeah. And ngihlele move.
She's a move.
Yeah, girl.
Ngiya rehearse la engqondweni yami.
Yeah.
Ayi ngiyabona hayi uzophuma kabila short ride lana. Bazongihleka abantu taxi. Ngadlula ne-taxi. Ngadlula ne-taxi ngazengihleka le family.
Notebook, nepeni, ubhale short left with.
Akabuyi. The only thing is the walking.
Yeah.
So yonke into
It's gradual, yeah.
And also not iphuma because mina ngiphaphile. I didn't have the patience to wait for the driver. Ngathi no man, ngingumuntu selokishini. Taxi ngiyayazi. Like then there's me in my mind walking back, and I'm like, yeah,
is this me?
Is this me? But those are the things. Then we'll go home. You know, I still have a very close relationship with my speech therapist, Pamela. Yeah. She knows how much I appreciate her. I am here because of her. I would sit with my exercises and do them. I'll do 120, 110%. Yeah. I'll put on the extra effort because I will ask, what is wrong with me? I say, no, your vocal cords are still closed. Maybe you must pray. I do exercises and it paid off. So I'll say to people, those things that you must do after stroke patients, do them with so much passion.
Yes.
Do them like you want to, like from the heart. That's what I did. Therapy helps. Therapy helps, Busi.
I'm glad. So what was the one thing that you were grateful for when you became well? Ngiyabonga.
Being able to cook karabo, because I've never
held her.
I've never held karabo. From the time she was born, I remember after the day she was born, only the day, because that day I had the stroke. So the following day. So later when I tried, I couldn't. So I only managed to hold ukarabo after some time when my hands were stronger. So that was the highlight to say I've been wanting to get well, to be able to hold my baby on my hands.
You're still with Precious Moments. My name is Busisiwe Nomaswazigunene. Remember to like, share and subscribe. And I'm with Inkalagata herself, Mpho Tshabalala. Yo, Mpho, sibonga uNkulunkulu for putting you through and pulling you out of a stroke. Abanye abantu, they're not as lucky. And for a mother, Uguti, the one thing that you're grateful for is to being able to hold umntanakho in your hands. And I think I always say to people, God listens more to the prayers that we do in our hearts than the ones that we verbalize, because he answers those ones faster and quicker, you know. Okay, Askis, from one heavy topic to another. When you guys found out about cancer kamtutus, how did you guys take it?
Still, questions. Cancer? No, below. It's for older people. No, I can't. You start by not accepting. That's why even how they break the news to you is very important. You know, then you must internalize it and like, and we're like, and it was just the two of us, because it started with him just saying, hey, my eyes becoming blurry, and like, I go see an optometrist. Optometrist will refer to a specialist, and then from Lapo, the specialist, now we stayed for hours there. They say, no, we're trying to save the eye. Basusa Lapo, Basisa Gu, his normal doctor, Dr. Loy, to say you need to go today because you need to be on steroids. When you went there, Dr. Loy does a test and everything. In the meanwhile, we're waiting for tests. We'll need you to be on steroids. Steroids, for what? We're trying to save your eye. He was on steroids for the whole week. So by the time the test came, and they told us, it was very difficult. But because we are a family that always has hope. If you really go stroke, cancer. Oh, okay. Can it be treated? Yes, can be treated. Okay, sharp. I think the for us, the heaviness was going back to tell the kids. Yes, yeah. Like when you tell people to move cancer, it's immediately you're also shown. Yeah. But then we became so much stronger, especially him, Umtutuzi. Like I've never seen a patient if I'm Umtutuzi that at times I couldn't take off him, he would drive himself. I know, fine. I would Kim. So by the time he started about Kim and everything, they couldn't save that eye. Yeah. So people didn't know. To spend over a year with one eye, the other eye being a bone.
Another thing because he's one aspect because
he's always
staged persona.
Always in classes.
Yeah.
So he spent the whole of 2015 with just one eye, no 2016. So it was difficult when Abusi but you know, he went for treatments, radiation. It was a new language now, we don't know. And then now, radiation is one of the treatments that will turn your skin very dark. Yeah. You know, it was very, very dark. And him being in the public eye, people now, people create their own stories.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they created their own stories, but we're like, I focus on your healing. By the end of 2015, we celebrated he was declared cancer-free. Wow, Christmas, because also with the radiation and chemo, you lose your taste buds, no more lows. So by December 2015, the taste buds were back.
Nice.
You know him to do the love food.
Yeah.
So it's like, December I spend it. Like babe cook would spend eating, and then until 2016 in June. Yeah, in June. It's like the other eye is starting. I'm just feeling it. Like, let's rush to a doctor. Yeah. And we're not even thinking, man, that's the cancer. I can affect a little bit strained because
it has to be stronger for both.
Went through again to the doctor, and then the news were broken. Cancer is back. Okay. I didn't see it treat really that.
Yeah.
So we're like, But the doctor was not convincing, you know, to say, Then now the visits were so often to the hospital, and if there's one thing about cancer, it's cancer. You end up being in a space where you have to decide would you tap into your savings, or you even get loans to get treatments, double medical aid and everything, you know. So there was a time where we had to sit and decide which we were given options to say, hey, you can continue, but these are the amounts that you would pay. These 3 kids were found. Or you can go the public route, the government route. And him being Umduduzi, the most important thing for him was his kids.
Yeah.
He says, no, not with my kids. Not in Malabantwana. I'll go the public route. That's when he started going to
Charlotte
Matleke. Yes. So amazing, you know, treatment there. They welcomed him, and yeah, he went his journey there. But you know, this time when it came back, everything was just happening
fast,
so quick, because it came back in June. By end of August or middle August, he was totally blind with that other eye. He was totally blind, and yeah. Now imagine a man that has to work being on stage. You can't be on stage if you don't have eyes, you know. And if you've never had eyes, fairly, yeah, it's something else. You are used to it, you know. But if you've always used your eyes to be on stage, your voice and everything, and the chemo and all of those things, they affect also your voice. Because so it was difficult. Obviously, he had to stop working, and by that time, him going for treatments, I think Umtutuzi was killed. Angazi,
9 lives.
9, I think. Yeah, I think bambula lapho so many times. You know, by people. People, as I said, people create stories.
Yeah, people are toxic.
Yeah. You know, it's sometimes someone will send you a story, but the ambulance iphenduke ngani or I'm like, or but you show me the izolo means, but I'm sitting next to this person, you know.
Clearly you live a double life.
Yeah, having to deal nomuntu okulayo and being a mother. And ngapha I was working for one of the top brands in South Africa, and being in management there, I just had to be full in, you know, because now I'm bringing the income and so also I can't just leave my job. I have to be full in. So I have to deal with all of that and still deal with this fake news and everything. It was a bit heavy, but still, we still had the family, the friends that supported us, you know. Until the time they said the chemo he needed was not available in South Africa.
Sure.
But still, we had hope. Then what? Should we take him overseas? No way he can't travel as he is. But we can order the chemo. Oh well, good. As we find ways.
Yeah.
We ordered the chemo. Yeah, we maneuver.
Yeah.
Found ways, we ordered the chemo. As we were waiting for the chemo, the 11th of September 2016, now there's this big concert at Orlando Stadium.
I remember.
Called a thank you concert. Days before that, they booked him, not knowing him to Zagabon.
Yeah.
The people that he's with, you know, it was like, no, I'm cheating. Then me, I come back, I'm like, whoa.
We happy?
We are kanjani. And then I bo, like, because he was like at that time very weak also. I baby in. He's going to also perform kanjani stage. Absolutely lap. You know, I had to call his doctor, and I'm like, hey, I'm facing this, because there was a time prior that the doctor had called me, and I still have that picture where he drew Guti cancer iguphi, and it's growing into the brain. I'm like, so can't we see? I says, no, we can't do tests, we can't do anything now. We just have to wait for that chemo and see if it will work now. Like, okay, so at that time he was doing a preparation chemo before the NF. And then when I called him, like, okay, since now there's this thing he wants to go and perform. You know, I remember it was the hardest decision that I had to make. I could have locked up him to wheel up. He was blind, he couldn't do anything, you know. But this doctor said to me, you never know. It may be a healing point. He may be healed because he'll be doing something that he loves. Or you may lose him on stage. He said, I'm just going to be open to you like that. So it's your call. This person, oh seriously, and I'm like, how would people see me if we lose this man on stage? And people will be like, and I'm like, you pray about things. I'm like, God, I don't know, but this person, for him he hasn't done what he loves in a long time. So it was excitement. I've got this opportunity. There's people that still booked him, didn't know. Sure. Then we decided, Kevin said, no, I'll make t-shirts. Kevin made t-shirts, said we'll go, song, just go my t-shirts and just be a united, perform with him on stage. That was the thing, that's the only way. So then I said, hey, then let's tell the organizers. Luckily it was Oputimzwake. Putimzwake understood. It was like, nope, let's do it. You never know what may happen. I remember, walked in. They were organizing the t-shirts, the sneakers, everything. So then keep Zona with the t-shirts on. I remember walking in Orlando Stadium. There was a guy who was performing, I think it was Jack Parrow, and they told him, hey, this guy is here, we are cool, he's just going to do one song and go. The way Mpho was so good at his craft. This guy said, I'm not going to go after Mandoza.
And come back on,
I'm not going to go off.
Like, are you not going to speak after the president?
No, yes. He says, nope, you're going to let me finish, or if I go off, I'm going. And he left. He left afterwards. He didn't, So we went in. So now I had to be his eyes. So to say, okay, now holding his hand, okay, now we are walking in. On your right hand side, it's the whole crowd. Because remember at that time, people were not sure we are Pila. They said, I was South Africa. So I had to say, that moment touched me so much to say, if there's one thing that you can do for them, to acknowledge them, just raise your hand up.
I remember.
He did that, and the crowd went, and you could see, the smile when I looked at him, the smile on him. Yeah, man, this is what fulfillment. Then we went on stage with the whole crew, with the guys and his mother and the kids. I remember as by Mbogot, Ukarabo on stage. Because Ukarabo is not one for big crowds and everything. So I'm like, when I look at those pictures, I'm like, So we went on stage, performed, the crowd went crazy. He couldn't be there because the guy warm up and too dry. He couldn't be there for long, but he did what we loved and what he loved. And we left the stage, a lot of other artists had, Lama Room, artists, they wanted, and I'm like, nope, we're gonna go home. Went home. We had our own after party in our comfortable space. It was beautiful. I think, I never thank God enough for that day. It could have been worse. But it went, he did, something that he loved. And I realized after he passed on, it was exactly 7 days before he passed on.
Sure.
It was a Saturday, the 11th of September. The following weekend being the 18th of September.
Your birthday.
My birthday. It was being a silly man, a jealous man.
Yeah.
He says, nope, I'm not gonna go on the 17th or on the 19th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on the 18th because
spoiler part.
There's a song. When I listen to the song, it's oh yeah, lengo mihambela na uyafana uthi uyakhumbula baby.
Yeah.
So yeah. My birthday will never be the same again.
I can imagine, because it's a bittersweet pillow to swallow, because it's your birthday. That's the day.
The first anniversary of his death, I didn't know how, that's how I got to launch the foundation, because I didn't know whether to cry or to say happy birthday to myself. I'm like, what do I do on such a day? And then a voice said to me, just continue being Mpho. Yeah. Being Mpho means that I help, I'm a gift to people. That's how I launched the foundation. We started Eshalt Makleke, knowing the challenges that patients go there, have. Like they come from different provinces. They stay the whole day there without food. So I said, I don't have much, but I'll start just by giving out lunch, some sandwiches, abanye they'll say, hey, because I'm gonna go home late, because we have to wait for other patients. Can I take extra? And we'll give them extra, that's me, my birthday, and that's how the foundation started.
What do you do when you miss him?
I listen to his songs.
Your favorite?
I think there's so many. There's so many favorites.
Okay, give me one that makes you cry and one that makes you happy.
I think one of my favorites, and I still have to, release the song. That song, it's with Afro Traction, Kumbula Baby. The first time Hlana where was Komisa.
And I'm sure Bowen's are
still, oh, definitely. But me? No, like So that's my song. One of my songs. Like guys, the hope song. Hope is much. When you lose hope, you die. Usaphila. So, when he says kusane hope, I wouldn't be here and sitting here if I lost hope in a lot of things. So the hope song is one of my favorites also. Zinengi, number 50-50. This is just good, this amazing catalog, Nale enye, which one is this one? Ethanda School, but it's a cramp, the one with Mandoza. Flame of Life. I listen so much to his catalog more than I ever did when he was alive.
I can imagine.
I listen to his catalog so much. I also listen to this other song, Femi Kusai. He's featuring an artist, a lady, was in Mozambique. Then there's another song featuring Goodbye My Love, a lady from Japan. And Mozambique was Japan, which is translation.
So I go embassy at Japan City. Please listen to the song. Can you translate for us, please? Let's talk about the biopic, Kalagata, The Life of Mandoza. How did that come about?
Busi, I always say, if we don't tell our stories, we give opportunity to people to tell our stories.
And they'll distort them.
They're already doing that in the media, So I say to myself, and I mean, I love to, I know there's been a biopic that has been done before in South Africa, Lib Matosa, but I also love doing izinto that have never been done, So I said, he's the A1. No, I can also be number 2, So I said, no, I'd love that opportunity, you know, to tell about, because I think Mpho was a giant. He never realized who he was. I never realized, you know, until you meet so many different people saying, yo, I'm a professor, yagupi gupi, you know, and it's like, you know, I was going through, I studied. When I was studying, I would listen to Mpho Tshabala and I'm like,
the dynamic
yes. He says, you know, as you say, we become doctors in all our different spaces, but it doesn't mean you have to wear a white jacket. And that's why me understanding his death, no man, he had done his papers. I said, he came to deliver messages. He did that. He needed to go back home. So I wanted to tell the story as authentic as I could. You know, from him, this young boy. Also telling his story is to inspire the next boy that's growing up, Ezola, to say, if a guy from Ezola, an ordinary guy, can do it, ended up just doing what he loves, and he could travel the world and inspire, you can also do it. That means, that's why, but I also shown the challenges that were there. And for me, I think nami bengifuna ukuba undaba because mhlawumbe khona izindaba bengingazazi bengifuna ukuzizwa. Yeah, so I also got to hear things into like, much doing. And see, oh wow, okay, all right, yeah.
Okay, so were the moments where during the biopic where you would feel his presence? Because I mean, there's no way that you'll do such a biopic of a legend like Duduzi and not have, you know, there's telltales, man. There's always, you know,
Duduzi, as I say, uhambe birthday yami because Duduzi bekathanda ukuthi presence yakhe ifile. So you would never do a biopic of Duduzi and not feel his presence.
I'm sure.
Hence the way I started the preparation. As soon as, even before I knew the characters, I went alone, you know, to the gravesite, just to say, you know what, this is what I'm about to do, Ganje. As soon as we locked in the characters, mainly Mpho, Nomduduzi, I had to take them, Wiseman or Lorraine, to the gravesite. And I'm glad Nabo, they didn't find it offensive, but they were like, oh yes, thank you. You know, this is like, we like saying, we're going to ask for a permission.
Exactly,
Because one of the reasons that we had to go and ask for permissions, that these people were kakulu. Wiseman was going to be wearing Impazam to do his real clothes.
That's big. That's big.
Yes,
So you can't nje.
No. So yes, we went to the gravesite, asked for permission, and we did a lot of, you know, spending time together. With them, also with the kids, because my kids have another side of the story that they can relate to that I don't know as a father. So we spend so much time together, and at times you will feel his presence. My camera was in hands. Now enkalakatha asihloniphanga, you know, or isemamudzini angazi. At times it will be bekunokuhlangahlangana okunengi, but you know, we conquered, and we did it.
No, and Lorraine, because I know when I was watching it, I was like, Umpolo.
Umpolo. No, she's telling me very well.
No, Lorraine, you know, she did a stellar job. She, like, Umpolo.
Like, Magamem's Duduzi. That is me, exactly.
I was like, I know. This is the Mpho that I know. Tell me about accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award on his behalf, in his absence.
Oh, I think I'm crying because it's something so fresh, and you would wish ukuthi umuntu abone imiphumelo yakhe asaphila. You know, he's had so many awards, from your Kora Awards to Summers to Metros to but having this thing, you know, having a lifetime achievement, and he's not there. I have to accept it on his behalf. I was shaking.
I can imagine. Lifetime achievement means you've done everything that there is to do to get to that level.
Yes, yeah. And, you know, he receives this lifetime achievement. World Cup.
Yeah.
And there's this second bond that's just been zula-zuling around the world, you know. And it's things like that you say, you know what, you may be gone, but your spirit, your voice
still lives
on.
Yeah.
So it was heavy for me, but I'm glad that Amasocha Wami were with me, the boys were with me, and my daughter was with me. So yeah, it's part of saying we will receive it on your behalf, because we are still continuing with the legacy. This legacy is just too big.
Exactly. Yeah. Utumelo is apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I know. Yeah. And I think we are in this era where we don't choose their careers. We say, follow your heart. We say, hey, Tumelo, can't be a doctor, can't be a lawyer, can't be a teacher. Yeah. Now you're like, do you love it? Do research about it, do it. And yeah, like Tokulo will tell you, as you, yeah, it was
not in my plans.
No. Tokulo will say impasile, but it was difficult because at that time they were sharing a room. We were staying, it was a smaller place, so they were sharing a room. I'm a single beds, 3/4 beds side by side. And Tumelo would practice. He knows, I don't have to leave them in. Here's the day. Who achieve my words, I want to tell people the story how
it all started, and how I suffered to pass through matric.
No, hey, because now he doesn't have a studio, but he wants to do it. He was frustrated, but then you know more we born the sooner you accept as a parent and you support, the better.
Yes.
So I accepted. I said, okay, let's sit down. Finish your matric. What do you want to study? He said, sound engineering. I said, find a school, do that while you, Mikey, let's balance it with the education. As long as we do that, I'm good. I'll support you. So, hey, when I manage, I do manage. But because I drive him to gigs, so
that's management.
Okay, it's position, but I'm like, oh, okay, So he's loving it. You know, also now he's got a studio. But
get used to it.
But you can see that. You know, it's not forced to him. No one forced him to do this. If I had my own way, he'll be doing something else. But he's doing what he loves. That's very important, you know.
And it's easy for him to be successful in it because he's passionate about it.
And what I love that he had an ear. When he started saying he's doing trap. I'm like, that's too much English for me. Gozo and educator in South Africa. Gozo you know, access states, he moved from trap, and then it was rap. And then, you know, you sit and you guide him. But you know what? Ganje, this is how you speak to people, and Now I hear Dumelo sing love songs in Zulu.
Boy. Yes, boy.
I hear him. I'm like, Nako, you need to always just remember who you are. When you are in studio, just always remember that.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Where to from here for Mandoza Foundation?
So there's so much that, you know, we indishe umkhosi le egcwele into eyiningi that always wants to do this and that.
Yeah.
One of the plans with the board is that we've sat and looked at iy'kole zaselokishini ukuthi there's no, you know, music much. And we said to the drawing board, for me it was like, you know what, yes, I'll always be in the cancer space, but can I do what he lived for than what he died of? Yes. Because the cancer space, I remember it was attached because it was fresh, it was still new. I'd always be in that space, support that space. But as a foundation now, we are moving into the music space, you know, the entertainment space. One of those is that we want to support by giving out music instruments to all different schools, emalokishini, you know. So we're still in our research stages and trying to get imali to be able to do that, getting the support behind it, structure it very well. We're not just going to go and give them music instruments and then we move away. Will it have classes? How is it going to be conducted? How are you going to do follow-up? How is it going to benefit the schools? It's going to take them to a level, you know, so we are on that stage when it comes to the foundation. Also, under the foundation, we're coming up with greater things. Because our second baby, being Unkalagata, is only a few months away before he turns 25.
Wow.
So it's the big 25 in 2025. But angithi umntwana uyandlalelwa.
Yes.
So we are about to undlalela umntwana wethu with things that have never been done before. We are going to theater.
Wow.
We are going to theater. You know, when I always have these ideas, I think about things now, but so we are taking kwaito to theater.
Nice.
To say we're still telling a story.
Yes.
You know, the story, Sakam Tutuzi, he died under 36. You can never tell it into a biopic with just 6 episodes, never. So we're telling the story, but in the musical way. And also as a foundation, we always want to make sure there is no year that we don't create jobs. In action, we will go back and create something. If we can help each one, just one household, you know, to put bread on the table, for us, that's a fulfillment. We don't have the physical money to say, you know, but we'll say we'll create jobs to say, So we're going to theater to start the celebration in 25 years. There's also a TV show that's on the pipeline, that's coming with the boys. As you say, I've always been a mother to this kwaito clan, kwaito family. So it didn't end abo baba khona, abo mama bakhona. So I'm still a mother to some of the kids, you know, from the kwaito stars. So I thought, you know what, they still come to my house. Ma oledi. I'm like, let's work. And when you see Uti Nabo, they've fallen into this industry, but can I do it with them, with the little knowledge that I have? Can I hold their hands and do it with them? So we've got something on the pipeline that's coming for TV.
We can't wait. Widows Unraveled. Being on that program, how did it make you feel in terms of the healing process?
Widows Unveiled, it was beautiful. You know, you've got other friends they won't understand you at times. Or I nakala.
Yeah.
But being in the same space with people that have been through what you've been through, they would understand you. You're speaking the same language. Was yo nami how nawe eya nami. So yeah, in the healing space, it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot to say, oh, okay, Kante wasn't the only one, and it made you see which no as a cookie visit nine.
Yeah.
As a next video, yo. Hi, being in corner.
Yes.
Yeah. So it makes you more strong and to say, oh, okay, Gandhi, I'm still on the right path, on the right healing journey. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Mpho, thank you so much. We'd love to be part of the 25 years of Nkalakatha Dlalela journey. Is there any information that you'd like our viewers to know about, although you're still in the planning stages, but they must be on the lookout for? What can people be on the lookout for?
They must just be on the lookout on our social media pages. We'll be relaunching our social media pages, every information. Abantu abangiphethe bazothi ngiyaphapha. So they must just be on the lookout on all social media pages. It's just so disrupt. Njengonkalakatha. So there'll be auditions happening because we're looking for, it's story. So we just, there's gonna be auditions. We want. Let's go back to. It's gonna be like that. She said, popcorn, and we sing along. Let's go back. We've lost touch with so many things. Impilo say fast, but let's just go back. Abontanga bamba don't understand. Abontanga bamba, it is the hour September. Then there's never a September that I don't do anything.
Yes.
So this September, I'm footing it as something theater, Bontanga Bami, and let's prepare to celebrate 25 years in Nkalakatha.
So it's going to basically be, I think it's going to be a 3-in-1. So it's going to, I'm sure it's, the 18th has got something to do with it, ne?
Yes, okay. It's definitely, it's gonna, okay, this I can give out. It's going to start from the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Yeah. So, guys, make sure that you block out those dates. Yes. And definitely where else, if not in Soweto.
Yes, girls.
Puma, if you can.
Yeah. No. I can already see it. It's okay. If it's 18, 19, 20, so it's in threes. So it's Mpho's birthday, celebrating Nkalakatha, celebrating the life of Mandoza, the Nkalakatha creator. Mpho, thank you so much for taking time. We value these precious moments that we spend with people like yourself, and we wish you nothing but the best. And may God bless you, bless your projects, bless your thoughts, and everything must prosper.
Thank you for having me. These are the kind of moments that I enjoy, interviews that I enjoy, where you just get to sit, relax, feel at home. Yeah. For me, that's, it's like, I'm at home. Yes. Thank you for having me. And definitely, from now, you are family.
Thank you.
Come and capture the precious moments.
Yes. We'll definitely be there. We'll definitely be there.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking your time to watch Precious Moments. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I had a ball. I had a wonderful conversation with Mpho Tshabalala. So be on the lookout. September 18, 19, 20 in Soweto, the Mandoza Foundation is bringing you something hot. From me, Busigunene, goodbye.